Good morning. Morning. How are you all? Um, so I haven't been here for a couple of weeks. Lots to catch you up on. For a start, I do normally get changed on a Monday morning. Because if you've joined me on my lives before, you'll know that I volunteer in the afternoons. I volunteer for a local breastfeeding support group. And so when I'm live on here, I do usually get changed for the live and then change back into what I'm going to be wearing to group. Not always. Sometimes you might spot my logo. Today it just seemed like too much to do. I got very, very little sleep last night. I think I got to sleep about 3, and I have to get up at 6. So I'm functioning on not a lot. On 2 coffees, I've just drunk that one, and 3 hours of sleep or something like that. I think it's one of those where you potentially have dozed a bit, because I would definitely feel worse if I actually had only had 3 hours of sleep. I went to bed at 10:30. So I think I probably dozed a little bit in some of that time, but I do feel ropey. Last week was World Book Week, so I wasn't here. Apologies for that. And I wasn't here the week before that. I got called into teaching at the last minute. So that was kind of an unplanned thing. And I did put a message onto my community tab just to let you know I wasn't going to be here. And I completely forgot that World Book Week was coming up. Obviously, I would have given you notice for that. And it was just like, oh my goodness, everything's run away from me. So, things have been very, very busy. They're just starting to let up. If you look on my social media, you see the stuff I've been doing. So last week I did 4 school visits and a brownie group activity thing. And I vlogged that. So if you want to have a look, you can check out the vlog that went live on Saturday. And then yesterday, so this group that I volunteer at, we ran a film screening for a film called Tigers, which is amazing. You should check it out. And we originally planned that screening for March 2020. And it's weird. This week I've been getting not 2020 vibes. That's the wrong thing to say. Full circle vibes, because in March 2020, I did my first school visit. I then went to an event at Deal Town Council for International Women's Day. I did that on Friday night for the first time since then. And then we were supposed to be doing this film, and we had to cancel it because of COVID. So it feels a bit full circle, which that's a week, that week finishing International Women's Day. I remember it just being really amazing and feeling really good. So it's nice to be back there, if you see what I mean. I don't know if I'm making much sense this morning. So, and an absolute privilege to meet Patty Rundle. If you haven't heard of her, check her out, especially with International Women's Day just gone. She's an absolute inspiration. She has worked tirelessly in ensuring that there are regulations, global, not just UK, but global regulations, to ensure that formula milk is safe, that it has all the, if there's a new ingredient found that is beneficial, that all milks have to carry that marketing isn't there, that everything is just appropriate and safe for all mothers, so that everybody can make, choices without being influenced by big corporations and things like that. And it's just spent a lifetime dedicated to that. So fascinating to meet her, and a great privilege to host the Q&A with her. I think partially why my voice is a bit croaky today is I have not stopped speaking for a week. Tomorrow I'm doing a talk at a WI group as well. Unfortunately, I'm not teaching tomorrow because I definitely need to just not really speak tomorrow, rest my voice. So that's where we're at. Things have been really busy, but really, really lovely. So what about this morning for the live sprints? As always, I would love to know what it is that you're working on. I think I'm going to write my newsletter. We're the 10th of March, and I haven't done my newsletter for March. So I think I'm just going to quickly put that together. To be honest, my brain isn't in the place to look at manuscripts. So I think that that's the thing to do. It's a little bit of writing. It's a job that didn't get done in amongst the chaos of preparing for World Book Week. So I think I'll just put together a little mini newsletter. And then next week I can like be back in the game with writing stuff. In amongst all of this, the Soil book is also rumbling on. I have seen it and I have filmed an unboxing. It's very, very exciting. So that might go up this weekend. I'm not 100% certain, but it might do, and that would be exciting. Anyhow, let's get into doing some stuff and we'll have another chat in the break. So as always, we do 15-minute sprints. We're going to do 3 lots of that. Just a little sprint. I know some people do, or some that are hours and hours long. I saw one the other day that was something like 12 hours. We're just doing a little mini one, just starting the week off. So here we go. I'll pop up my banner and we'll meet back here in 15 minutes. Enjoy. Okay, guys, that's the end of the 15-minute sprint, the first sprint. I discovered that the software website's probably the better way of phrasing it, that I use for my newsletter isn't working this morning. I've tried it on a couple of different browsers. I'm just getting an error on it, so I won't do that this morning. So instead, I have changed tack and I'm putting together my PowerPoint for the talk that I'm doing tomorrow. So I'm going to be talking about habitats and sort of focusing on why these habitats are important, and then therefore why that's been the subject of children's books, why sort of this project is going forward. So but yeah, particularly focusing on seagrass and kelp. And I need to do some research for some facts and figures. I know obviously some bits just off the top of my head, but there's some stuff that I want to put in there, as well as personal experiences around. I've dived seagrass a lot, actually, probably more than kelp. I haven't dived either of them in ages, so that would be really nice. I am going diving over Easter, which will be really good. Last year when we went away, the weather was okay, but not amazing, and it limited how much diving I could do. I was going to try to do 3, and I think I did 2. So fingers crossed, because they do a deal if you do 3. So fingers crossed this year the weather might be a little bit more favourable, because the dive that got cancelled was a night dive. Also, I think there were limitations about like where we could go, what we could do. So that would be really cool. But that's abroad. So yeah, it's not the same kind of habitats. I really would like to get some UK diving in. It's just hard. It's hard to organise. So one day, there's just lots and lots of things always going on. So yeah, there's that. And so I need to get all prepared for that. I'm doing a bit of teaching this week, and we're just I'm just going with the flow at the minute and just trying to do what I can when I can, because everything has been really busy with prep for the book and prep for World Book Week. And so someone's making a load of noise outside. And so I need to kind of figure out my balance again, and kind of, I think essentially what I need to do is soil project done, printed and all of that, and then I can turn my attention on something else. And then once I'm doing that, then I know sort of how much time I have and that kind of thing. Interestingly, I know I talk a lot on these lives about sort of work-life balance and about the holidays, for example, because it can become a bit of an issue during school holidays, not only live streaming, but also trying to balance work and feeling a bit bad that I end up working and then can't really like do activities and stuff with my youngest. But this summer, they're doing so many things, the kids. So it looks like I'm going to have a lot of periods of time when I'm just like kind of 100% focused on work, which then means that when the kids are at home, then I can do stuff and not feel that torn thing that it's just unpleasant. You never feel like you're doing the right thing by anybody. So that would be really, really cool. Anyway, let's do some more writing. Let's do another 15 minutes. As always, let me know what you're writing, even if you're not watching this live. I know some of you don't. Let me know what you're working on and how you are, because I see the same names coming up. Just, check in, be nice. Anyway, let's do another writing sprint. Okay, that's the end of our second writing sprint. I'm so convinced I'm gonna forget to unmute myself or something today, or forget to mute myself so you can all listen to my music. Just putting this PowerPoint together. It's tricky because I know that what this group want is a talk about underwater habitats. I'm putting in a whole load of context of my background because I think that's important, because it helps to explain where my interest comes from. And if I'm talking about like my past experiences of diving and of then how that translates into where I am now and what I do as a career, I think it's kind of it's important. So yeah, I'm deciding like how much context to give and how much detail to go into. Yeah, it's not very easy, but it's totally fine. So yeah, I'm just putting that together because once that, I've got that PowerPoint sorted, so I've got a basis of my talk, then I'll be fine. The funny thing is, the PowerPoints that I make, because I put lots of illustrations into them so that I can read the book, and because the book is quite small if you're in a big room talking to people, so it's nice having it up on the wall on the screen so people can see the illustrations that I'm talking about. Because I think what I'm going to do, talk a little bit about myself. I'm going to talk about my background so that it kind of all makes sense. And then I'm going to talk about seagrass and then read seagrass, and then I'm going to talk about kelp and then read kelp. Because I think if you understand why these things matter to me and where I come from creatively, scientifically, all of those things, I think that helps to kind of understand, to put it into your own context. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't think I'm making a lot of sense today. Did I finish saying, don't think I did, that because I put all the illustrations into these PowerPoints, they are huge. And although I reduced the file size and everything, they are such big files. And I went into one school, because their IT was not great. They took so long to open. Like, I've learned that I have to give a good bit of time just to open the files. So that's fun. I don't know what tech to expect tomorrow. I think I'm going to take a spare laptop, because one of the problems I have is I work on a Mac. This is a whatever Mac this is. I don't even know. I should know. I actually would like. Sorry if you can hear my washing machine. It's really broken. I actually would like. I'm going to move my microphone so you can hear me a bit better. Sorry if that's really loud. Anyway, I would like to replace this laptop at some point. I've not long bought this. I bought this probably about 9 months ago, but the camera isn't very good, as I'm sure you can see. And I just would like a new laptop, but I need to justify it. So I need to make some money first. That's the plan. And it doesn't matter if I can't replace this. This can keep going for probably 2 or 3 years before I think about needing to replace it. What's the point I'm making? It is that because this is a Mac, I often, if I've got like audio visual setup equipment, it doesn't work with this. And I used to have, no, I didn't. I was going to say I had a converter. I didn't. I had one for my iPad. I probably should get some kind of converter connecty thing. But what I'm far more likely to do is to take one of the non-Mac laptops that we have in our house. I think my husband's got 2 that he uses, so that if they don't have a laptop, I have a laptop that I can put my PowerPoint on, open it, do the thing. All of that was a very rambly way of saying what I was trying to say. So let's do another writing sprint. I'm not writing. I think we've established that I'm making a PowerPoint, but we're working together. So let's do another 15 minutes. Thank you for the accountability this morning, keeping me on track, and helping me to focus. I appreciate it, and I hope it's helpful for you. Right, last 15 minutes. Let's go. Okay, guys, that is the end of today's live stream. Oh, morning, Sean. How you doing? Morning, Charlie. Hi, how are we? I'm just changing my thing. Yeah, so I just spent a little bit of time sorting out trying to find out about distribution of seagrass in the UK and seeing if I can find, I know it's found all over the place, but sort of specifics. And I do also know where there are particular hotspots of it. But yeah, I'm kind of just looking for like a map. And it's quite tricky in Kent where I live. We've got quite varied habitats. Like we've got a bit of kelp, but we haven't got big kelp forests. We've got some areas with seagrass, but we haven't got like massive seagrass meadows. Or that's my understanding anyway. We've sort of got bits here and there, and it's a bit of a mixture. And because we've got chalk and we've got shingle and we've got sand and we've got clay and we've got basically lots and lots of different kinds of habitats and conditions. And also around here, it's very, very silty. So I know that I'm going to get asked where we have it around here. So I'm just trying to find out the specifics. So that's what I have been doing and just continuing to put this PowerPoint together, which I'll carry on once I go off of this live stream. To answer your questions, guys, I'm all right. I'm really tired. It's been World Book Week. I'm still recovering and just trying to get everything organized and back together. I'm also working on ads. Some of you might have been served my ads, and I will be making another video. So I did an interview with Leslie Sainty. It's well worth checking that out. She had so many good tips, and check out what Leslie does. Follow her on social media. She gives tons and tons of tips. She does free consultations. She does webinars. Like, follow Leslie Sainty. And so I did the interview with her, but I'm also going to put together over the next couple of weeks a video with my like lessons learned, because essentially I had one ad that did really well, and then I've used the money from that ad that did really well to try some other things that did not work. So now I'm with everything that I've learned, I'm putting together an ad that should deliver really, really well, and we'll see. And just kind of trying to get all of this together to make sure that I am maximizing sales and using the power of Meta to do so. And so probably right now, really, I've broken even, but that's okay because it's been a learning process and it is a bit of a gamble. You do something that you think, oh, that's going to work really well. People are going to respond to that ad, and then they don't. So for instance, I ran an ad on Lily the Limpet over the weekend. It cost me £30 and I made one sale. So whereas my seagrass ad from earlier this year, I had a profit of over £100 with all expenses taken into account, such as the cost of the book and my website and all those things. So it's just figuring out what product work well in an ad, what grabs people's attentions, what audience to target, how to have like offers and things on my website without having, you don't want to do an offer if you don't need to do an offer. Does that make sense? So you need to bring people to your site, but you also need to, I charge postage for a reason. And I have my books priced how they're priced for a reason. So sometimes you need to do offers, but sometimes you also need to not do offers. So it's all a learning process. So I will share all of my lessons learned, and I hope that's really helpful to people. But at the moment, I'm learning the lessons. So that's where we're at. And thanks, Charlie. Yeah, it's been really good. And I'm a person who doesn't tend to get many direct sales on my website. So it's been good to get that working. And I want that to be, now that it does work through using advertising, I want that to be a really core part of my business, because actually the main core financially beneficial part of my business is school visits. And so I want to have that aligned with also having online sales all of the time, because I can't do school visits all of the time. There is a limit to what I can do. And also schools tend to only book you at certain times. So yeah, being able to kind of spread things out is really good, and to find markets that I can't reach otherwise outside of, you know, where I can drive to. So yeah, it's really cool. So I'm going to go and get on with this PowerPoint that I'm making for the talk that I'm doing tomorrow. Thanks so much for dropping in, guys. I will be here next week for another live. I'll put that as a preview thingy on YouTube so that you can set yourself a reminder if you'd like to. And this week's video, like main channel video, is either going to be a cover reveal or it will be some bits and pieces about Meta. So I don't know yet. I will figure things out as the week goes on. But yeah, thanks for joining me, and I hope you have a really good week. I hope you got some writing done, and I'll see you all soon. Take care.